just do one take. We'll save time.
All right. So just tighten everything.
Yep. Hi, this is Mike from the Substream with an episode of Watch This Instead for the week ending the 27th of March, the dog days of crappy movies, 2009. And I want to talk this week about a movie called 12 Rounds, which is directed by Rennie Harlin, who's famous for being married at one point to Gina Davis, and also for the indomitable spirit with which he has continued to make terrible action movies, despite the thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are begging him to stop. There's no real reason for 12 Rounds to exist. There's nothing good or interesting or creative or original in it. The plot is it's not an homage, it's not a nod to, it's not a tip of the hat towards, it's not inspired by, it's a ripoff of Die Hard 3. A cop who did something bad to a European criminal's family members, tormented by the European criminal, who sends him around the city answering a series of riddles to defuse a series of bombs. And of course that is all a big production intended to cover up the actual thing that's going on. It's a ripoff, and it's not even a quarter of the movie that the not spectacular Die Hard 3 was. It stars John Cena as the farm boy, charisma-free, 8-time wrestling champion of the world record holder for most times wrestling wearing jorts and New Balance sneakers, as a detective who runs around New Orleans completely po-faced and earnest and devoid of any humor whatsoever, also in New Balance sneakers. So what should you watch instead? Put on your sci-fi goggles and watch the single best movie starring a wrestler ever made. And get John Carpenter's 1988 masterpiece, They Live, starring Rowdy Roddy Piper. The movie's not very good, but it's still a masterpiece, because faced with the task of making a sci-fi movie about a dude who discovers a box full of sunglasses that let him see beyond the veil to discover that we're not just humans living in a regular world. We're people that are being ruled by an elite class of skull-headed aliens controlling us through subliminal advertising, starring a wrestler named Rowdy Roddy Piper. The filmmakers, John Carpenter in this case, thought, what I shouldn't do is make this completely straight-faced and earnest and serious and see if we can trick people into thinking that this is an actual sci-fi action movie. We'll realize that this is ridiculous and that our lead can't really act and has no business being in movies, and we'll make it a little bit self-aware and make it funny, which it is. And it makes it worth watching, which it is, even though it's not very good, which it's not. The movie gave us 3 things. It gave us the single best fistfight in American cinematic history, in which Rowdy Roddy Piper and a guy named Keith David have a 5.5-minute long alley fight where they break each other's ribs, literally, and it's kind of apropos of nothing. There's not much that provokes it in the film. It's just kind of there like a gem shining out of a sea of other weird scenes. It gave us the phrase, "I came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum." And it also gave us President Barack Obama as Shepard Fairey, who is the graffiti artist that did Obama's iconic 4-color change poster. Got his start with a company called Obey, with Andre the Giant. You've seen that. And he took Obey from one of the billboards in John Carpenter's 1998 classic, They Live.
1988 classic, They Live.
1988. Excuse me. So what should you watch instead? Go get They Live. That's 3 reasons to watch They Live and 0 reasons to watch 12 Rounds. So watch that instead. See you next week.